Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome to this installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching today. What we're doing, finally, I hope this will be a successful vlog, but we're going to start getting these power steering lines off. I just want to try to get this sending line off, since it's probably going to be the easiest one to get to. It's, here, and it goes along the top. You can kind of see it wiggling. Routes right there. See me shaking it, you see it, and it's going over to, I think it's that line right there, but the other one's got to come off anyway. And I might try to do that. I mean, if I can successfully get this top line off, then I'll just keep doing what I can until either the sun starts to go down or I start noticing an obscene amount of wasps. But I haven't seen them yet. So if you missed it a few vlogs back, we removed this headlight of the Aztek, and there was a wasp's nest that was underneath the headlight. It was hanging off of a wiring harness, so we took care of that, and I haven't really seen them. It's not entirely too hot today. It's like 80 degrees, but the sun is out. It's usually when I see them, the sun, especially with the sun being as bright as it is today. They're usually all over the place, but the amount of time that I've been standing out here, I haven't seen any, so that could be a good sign. But as long as they don't come over here, I don't care. And I'm wearing shorts because of, it's just comfortable outside, so hopefully I don't get a wasp up the pant leg or something. And anyway, now surprisingly enough, I haven't seen any videos on YouTube on how to change steering lines on the Aztek. Haven't even seen them for the Montana or the Venture. So trying to get them from up here. I'm not sure if that's the best angle. I'm assuming it is, considering how well, now that that back head's off, you can see just how deep the body goes, how it creases. So it might look like an easier access point, but when you're under there, there's actually more of a bend to that wall or to that body, and it's really tough to get to anything. So this is probably going to be the best way to try and do this. So I don't know what size wrench we're going to need, or what we're going to need. And I bet those things are going to be on there very, very strongly. This is the PB Blaster that I've had, and I'm pretty sure I'm nearly out. There's a little bit left in there. So we'll just soak this on there first. There's barely anything in there. Oh no, there we go. Soak it all in there. And I guess just let that sit. Hopefully this will be enough to do the job. Oh, I just got some on my leg. But anyway. Okay, so we made a little bit of headway. But as it turns out, the correct wrench size I don't have. I don't have a very large wrench assortment. Plus, I tried using vice grips, and the vice grips wouldn't hold because of where the fittings were located. So I went with another route, and this is probably going to be the best way to do it. I chopped them off. So I took the hacksaw. As you can see, there's one line there. The other line is there. So with those being hacked, I could take my socket and we will just undo it that way. Now, hopefully I cut these down low enough so these will fit. So let's see which one's going to be which. That's probably an 18. Well, they're both bigger. I mean, 18 might work. It's on there, but it's in such a weird position. Oh yeah, okay. 18 works. Woohoo! Alright. There's one. Surprisingly enough, both of those were not as bad as I was thinking they were going to be. I mean, I had the breaker bar on them, and we soaked it in PB Blaster for a little bit. But that actually came out like a breeze. So like I mentioned, the hole right here on the left, that's for the line that's right here. So now we can just pull this line completely out. Now we got to be careful because there's a wiring harness right there. Not sure what that's for, but this line goes right underneath it. So when I put the new line back in, we want to do that exactly the same way. Well, there's still fluid in it a little bit. Wow, it's been a while since we've been under the Aztek. Got all kinds of stuff collecting. There's webs and fuzz and another dead wasp and a lot of grody stuff. I'm still kind of nervous to be over here. Okay. So this is the other steering line, which is also extremely horrific. I'm not 100% sure how these lines come off of this. I'm kind of not sure. I mean, but it goes around the cradle and then back up there. Look at that. Oh my word, look at how many, like, ugh. This was not like this the last time I was under this car. Ugh. There's one of our tranny lines too. Is that where they go in? Did I figure it out? Yes, I did. Sweet. Oh, that shouldn't be that difficult. 1 and 2. Okay, cool. Okay, figured out those little tabs are bolted on to the cradle, and you can see the one for the left side. Yep, that thing right there. That's a bolt. And the other one is lingering right around these tranny lines. I discovered they were bolting on after I started to pry with a screwdriver on these, and I noticed that they weren't really coming off. So after sticking my finger on the top of those, I found the bolts. Now I just got to figure out the best way to get to them. Honestly, not as bad as I was thinking. Plenty of room on the backside. 10 millimeter. Scary. Sticking my hands up here when I don't know what's going on. Okay, that's that. Alright, that one was a little more difficult to try to move because of these. I got stuff falling all over me, this poor car. And look, there we go. So now the front of this line is loose. Apparently those things come with it. I don't know if my new line has that or not. I don't think you take these off and reuse them. Maybe you do. Maybe we can if we have to. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look around the side now. I love looking at this tire when it's off the ground. Look at how perfectly it's just staying like that. Alright, here's the front. This is the line that we have off. Air conditioner compressor, like I said, it's laying on it, so when I move that, you see it moving here. The last spot that it's attached to is right there. And there's this wiring harness on it. This wiring harness goes over here to the wheel hub for our wheel and ABS sensors. But I'm having a hard time figuring out, like, this wiring harness goes right over top of that clip. And I'm having a hard time figuring out where the screw for this, for that particular thing is. I tried looking up on top, but the wire is like directly over top of it, so I can't figure it out. If we look underneath, well, I don't think there's really any way to get to it from the underside of this cradle. I don't know if I can use the camera to try to pivot it up. Take a look. Oh, that helps a little bit. Let's see if I can squeeze both hands in there. Take a look here. Harness. Clip. Is this attached to the... Do I have to take the harness off? Is the harness like sitting on the screw or something? Alright, I just pulled that off. Does that control this? No. No, but there's a... It's a bolt. So there must be... Is there a nut on the bolt? Or does that just fit over top of it? Does this come up now? No? Oh, my camera skills on this video are awful. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so, well, you gotta pull the wiring harness up. You saw it, but it's that pin. You just pull that straight up off of that. Now I just gotta figure out if there's a nut on there that has to come undone, or what we gotta do next. Alright, so we're back at it again today. And kind of ran out of time yesterday trying to figure out how to get this line off. So we're back at it, and I figured an easier way maybe to take this wheel off, and then we can probably see that area a little bit better. So I already took the lugs off. It's not like this tire is serving us good anyway. Wow. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it gives us a little more room. There's the stud. I bent the bracket pretty good last night. How come I always run into some sort of hiccup every time I'm trying to do work on my own vehicles? Okay, well, the wheel being off has definitely made it easier to get to. There's no nut on this stud, and I even called the GM dealer, and I think nobody seems to know what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not really getting much luck trying to put sockets and stuff over here, and I keep trying to pry, and as I'm prying, it is loosening. See? This thing's loosening. I destroyed it a little bit, but it's loosening. But I'm not getting it off of the stud anyhow. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with the hacksaw thing again. We'll cut through these here, because after that the line splits, and this side goes to the pump and the other side comes from the rack. And there is one more retainer there, but that's a 10mm bolt. So once we just cut through this, I could take the whole section of lines out that run from the front of the car, and then we can just kind of take these ones off piece by piece once it's cut. And then I can probably wiggle this more and find out what the deal is, try and get it off, because it's not budging. So we'll just go that route. Mission accomplished. Okay, so those are done. We'll slide this one out. This is the one going to the top, and this is the one going over there. It's not going to budge yet because I have the other thing. Let's grab our 10mm and take that one off now. I had this long extender. The 10mm worked well with that extender, so that screw's loose. The dude at the dealership actually told me that they usually end up dropping the entire cradle to do this job. So he said it's actually very good that I'm doing it with the engine torn out, because it's not that easy when everything is put back together and hidden. Yeah, see, that clip came off nice and easy. Okay, so that's the section of line that runs to the pump, or not to the pump, to the rack. That thing's going to be in the way too, isn't it? So that routes right next to the rack boot right here, the inner tie rod. That part goes up to the top, and this side is for the front, and it's already kind of coming down. Move the compressor, we could probably just take it right off. Oh yeah, there we go, it's off. Oh yeah, been waiting to take that off for a long time. Okay, here's the top part. And the lower part, well, we may have to fetch the lower part from back there. It's right there, but I can't reach it with the car up on the jack. A little more. Oh, oh. Got some fluid in there still. So this is it. This is what was holding that this retainer that I destroyed on. There's no nut on there at all, and you probably have to use a particular nut driver or something to get this off. It's like a Star or Torx, and I don't have that. I don't have anything along those lines here with me at the moment. So we just used the vice grips, and the vice grips got it off. I could probably try to reshape this. I did break the plastic, so it probably will rust. But I don't know, I think it'll be alright for the most part. But yeah, so you can see the shape there. I don't have any kind of driver, so getting it back in, I'm gonna have to reuse the vice grips probably. But that was it. So this is off now. Oh yeah, this line looks a lot nicer compared to the old one. The shape looks good. It looks nearly 100% identical to the old one. So there shouldn't be any problems there. So all these lines came with these little tiny O-rings that you have to put on to the line themselves. Not that big a deal. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take these O-rings and I'm going to put some power steering fluid on them. Only because you guys seen the condition of the car. Oops, too much. So who knows when we're actually going to get to put this back together with fluid in it. I just don't want the these to dry out or anything when they're sitting in there. Then once you do that, you just take them and you push them over the tip on this particular line. There might be a few other different ones. And I did the other side, but it also came with this cap. I'm assuming this is what the cap is used for, but since I'm not putting the pump back on either right away, this will keep any dirt, debris, and stuff from chewing up that particular end of the line. Okay, so the sending line is in. I got it routed up under that wiring harness like the last one was, and I started hand tightening it into the steering shaft. So the other end's over here, as it should be. For some reason it still seems crazy long and awkward, but I don't know. I don't know how else it's supposed to really sit in there, because this is how it looked when I took it out. So I mean, it is an aftermarket line, so there's a chance that it's probably a little different, but the straight piece and the angle, sharp angle, go there. This other piece, actually the piece with the larger nut on it too, this larger nut, that's the side that goes onto the pump, as seen here. So all I gotta do is finish tightening up with the 18mm wrench that I just bought today, and that line is done. It's still a pain in the butt to get to. Okay, that should be it. That is as tight as that is. Yep, I think that's it. It threaded in nicely, so I didn't have a hard time threading it, so nothing got crossed. Definitely don't want something to cross like that, but it screwed in easily with my fingers, and we tightened it up with the wrench, and that's where we leave it. Now this line's got me kind of confused. Doesn't really help that I had to chop it up either, but I tried to recreate it as best I could. But this is the part that goes to the pump. This is the part that went to the rack. Because you can see there's our one clip. The other two clips are here from the radiator or the core support. But the new line doesn't really look a whole lot like that, and I'm kind of concerned. Here's our new line. Try to set it down the way that it is there. Of course, it's in one piece. So this is going to be our part to the rack. Here's the curve for the underneath the radiator, and it connects to here and it stops. Now my guess is, I'm guessing the other hose I had to buy, which was this one. Is this what makes up? Is this what he gave me as a cooler line? Like, is that what he meant? Because it does have the rubber bend from the piece that I cut off, and then this would run up to the back of the pump, I guess. You know, I'm kind of confused here as to why it's assembled in two different ways, when on this one it was all one piece, unless originally this was a separate line, maybe, because you can see where the clamp is. So maybe that is a separate line. I assumed it was all one piece. So I guess this is going to have to go onto this, and then this will run up to the back of the pump. I recreated the old line using the new lines and the old brackets and stuff to put them all back together. This one's going to take some time, trying to, you know, line it up. We got it off in 3 pieces. So putting it back on in one piece might take a little more time than pulling all of those out. So I got to get the car back up a little higher and put this line in. Alright, so guys, it's been, oh, it's starting to rain now. It's been a couple days since I started working on these steering lines. I'm just gonna wrap up this vlog now, but ooh, what's that? But we're going to just conclude it with this at the moment. I'm not done with the job yet, but we're close. I kind of ran into a problem getting the return lines in, particularly because the fitting wouldn't go into the gear there, and I actually took a set of lines back thinking that maybe they gave me the wrong line. It was working everywhere else. You can see it's wrapped around the bottom there, just like it was when we took the old one off. I don't have it tied down yet there. It's still loose. And then around the side here, you can see it coming around the side. And it's not buckled in here either, so it's still loose here. But it is tied a little bit right there where it goes to the rack. So I have it bent up that way like the original line sat. And from there, it goes right across there like the old one did, and then up to there. So originally I was having a hard time getting that in because I thought maybe that angle was too high, and it wasn't sitting inside the gear right. But then my dad actually had the idea to separate the rubber from the metal line, hook that up first, and then reattach the rubber. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So that's what I'm faced with now. The rain's really coming now. All I gotta do now is, obviously we have this section of line here, which I'm still kind of concerned about because right now it's rubbing up against this boot, and I'll have to work something out with this. I don't like that. But there's a second line, which is right here. As I stated earlier, there's this. This is the side that goes onto the power steering pump. And then there's a rubber hose, which is right here, that we put on that. And then it goes up to the pump. So that's all I really have to do. So that will look like, it'll look like this going to the pump. It's a good thing I kept all the old pieces for reference. Wow, it's really starting to rain now. But that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna keep this video going much longer just because of this. Already kind of showed you guys, I don't know, I've had to edit this video so many times, I'm not sure what the final edit is. But on the pump, I'll show you this real quick. Here's our power steering pump. This rubber hose one here, that's going to be our return line. So like I said, I have to fight to get that off because they were really stuck on there. That's why I chopped them off. And the one with the fitting on it, on the bottom of the pump, is our sending line. So if you're doing this for the first time, that's what to look out for. The sending line went on really easy. I mean, it's the one in the back. It just goes straight across there and then up to here. This, I gotta figure out exactly how this is gonna sit. I might have to twist the line some, but that's the part that is gonna go into the pump, of course. So I just gotta figure out how it's supposed to be setting. I'll probably have to refer back to my older videos of this. Oh my gosh, the rain. But anyway, needless to say, we have completed, well, I will have completed one more repair to getting the Aztek on the road and running. Unfortunately, I won't be able to check for leaks or anything until the pump is hooked up to the car, which will have to be built and running. So we can spool all of the fluid throughout the system, bleed it out. It'll naturally bleed, I believe. And then we'll see if there's any leaks or anything. Hopefully not. But that's it. One more repair on the Aztek that'll have been done. Of course, when the rain clears up, we will be moving on to the transmission lines, and I'm sure those will also be a treat. I will say that dealing with the power steering lines has been one of the worst tasks of this vehicle that I have done so far. And I hope that I don't ever have to do it again. So that's it, guys. I'm standing out here in the rain getting soaked. If you enjoyed this vlog, if you're happy that we made another repair on the Aztek one step further, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and check out teespring.com/stores/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. Can you imagine if I lifted the Aztek and it really it really sat this high? That would be crazy. But no, we're not going to do that. Oh, one thing I do want to show you guys real quick. I'll probably throw this in another video in case some of you guys turned this off already. But my dad gave me these gray Pontiac lug nut caps. So this is great. I'm glad. I checked one already and it fits. As you can see, you know, the Aztek has these. Oh, the rain's slowing down right now. Still looks kind of ugly. But the Aztek had these original, they were either gray or black caps, you know. And I think these will look a lot better with these wheels. And I'll show you on the wheel that's off, that way you get a better idea. Yeah, that'll look better. And it's nice too because this wheel in particular was missing one of these caps. So now they fit on there, and I think they're just going to look a lot nicer on these wheels compared to those faded black ones, and they'll all be there. So again, the little things that'll help improve this poor Aztek in not only making it look better, but we'll get it running. Alright guys, for real, I'm done. I will see you guys next time. That would really be ridiculous though. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh, it does look kind of cool though. No, we're not going to do it. We're definitely not going to do it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.